We're working on it, guys. I think you can hear me now, but you can't see me. Okay. I think I'm back. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, great. Sorry about that, guys. That's one of the challenges of going live sometimes. You got issues. Hope everybody migrates over. Sorry again for the confusion on that technical issue. Hey, I know I just took up a lot of our time on this. Great to see you. Let me just give you a quick overview of what I want to do. I want to share a little bit about what we're doing, the vision and strategy going forward, and then I want to take a couple questions. I had a couple questions come in today, and I thought, you know what, let's take tonight and let's have some Q&A time. So if you have a question, if you want to drop it in, and Tim, you asked a question earlier and about why you need to paint your office. You need to stop banging your head on the wall. Maybe that's it. So that's a little bit of humor there, I hope. Hey, we started FivestarMan 13 years ago. I received a word from the Lord, laid the groundwork, began to close down my consulting. And it took me about 2 years to do that because I had churches that had me on retainer. And that's how I made my living with consulting. I had about 12 churches that retained me in order to consult them. And I knew that God was wanting to do something different. So the Lord spoke to me about speaking to men and launching a movement to resurrect authentic manhood. You know that story. And so as I laid that out, I remember the moment I had a vision of what I felt like we could do with FivestarMan. To be honest with you, a lot of the technology that I saw in that vision really didn't exist yet. There were concepts of that, but no working model. So for 13 years, we've been working really hard, not just with the message of FivestarMan, which, by the way, just resonates with men. When you communicate to the purposes of men cast off what constrains them, and you draw upon the purposes of a man. And so you're not trying to get a man to be something that he's not. You're just identifying what God created man to be. And so that's the beauty and the message of FivestarMan. It communicates to the 5 categories of purpose within the heart of every man. Whether he's saved or not, whether he has fully redeemed his purpose or not. Moses had a purpose to be a deliverer of the people of Israel before he had the encounter of God. So when he attempted to do it on his own, it was disastrous. When he had the encounter of God, of course, that's when he was able to lead the children of Israel out of bondage and out of slavery. So we want to communicate to men to understand their purposes, but get it redeemed to the purpose and alignment with God. One of the challenges was to have a strategy. And if you don't know what to do, you often end up copycatting. And that's what I did. I copied and attempted to do FivestarMan in the way that other men's ministries had been modeled. And I got very little results in comparison to what I really felt like God wanted us to do. So it was only recently, just a few weeks ago, that Tom Yando and Tom and I have been working together for 13 years now. And 13 years now. No, 23 years. We've been working, my goodness, we've been working together for 23 years. And so Tom and I have been working together. And just a few weeks ago, we realized that what God had spoken to me about putting the message on a tablet, Habakkuk 2:2, write the message plainly and put it on a tablet. So I went to Tom on a phone call and I said, Tom, we've got to have an app, an actual mobile app. And none of the templates that we saw would work with us. And so because of that, I began that conversation. Well, Tom said, Neil, we actually have to redo the website. We've put belling wire around this website to hold it together. We got duct tape, belling wire, and this website is just it's just going to crash at any moment. Well, I understood immediately what that meant. That meant a big, big deal. So we had the dialogue, we had the conversation, and so what that gave me the ability to do was completely redesign the website so that the website no longer would be a billboard. And that's what most websites are. They're billboards on, quote, this, internet highway, and you hope to get somebody's attention by ads or word of mouth or whatever in order for them to come get your information and then hopefully, do something with the information that you give them. The reality is that's not what I saw in my original vision. Are you with me? Are you getting this? I know I'm talking fast, but I guess I'm trying to make up for time. But out of that, we really designed something that I'm really excited about, and that is a journey, a step-by-step guide to biblical manhood. So if you haven't already done it, I want you to get your phone out and go to FivestarMan.com. And when you go to FivestarMan.com, then what you will do is you'll see the screen behind me. I pulled it up on the site. You'll see behind me. And so there's really two things that you can do. You can either sign up or you can log in. So to take the first step, you just click that button or you come down here. Here's what we're going to do for men. We're going to give you a QR code so that you can share it with men. And all they have to do is go to this site, and here's what we're going to deliver them. We're going to give them the 5 Passions course. And I'll show that to you in just a moment. The 5 Passions course, we're going to give them a copy of the 5-Star-Man book, ebook version. We're going to give them, of course, the delivery of the Daily Champion. And then we're going to give them the 45-day challenge. So you can see that I'm already signed up, so I'm going to log in here. So once you put in your information and you log in, then that's going to take you over to the 5-Star-Man course. Now, we're working this week to get every current partner, champion, your login information so that you have all access, of course, to Champion You. But here's what I want you to see. Obviously, this is all personalized. So I'm going to start right here with the 5-Star-Man, 5 Passions, Authentic Manhood. So here we go. Here's the courses. The first one is Become a 5-Star Man. This is a salvation message. Now, you have to watch this message, hit complete to go to the next one. Because this is a step-by-step journey. We don't want you skipping steps. We want you to walk through. Even if you're already a believer, obviously, it's not going to hurt you to watch this. It's only about 10 minutes. Then we're going to talk about the importance of baptism. Mark Jones does a great job on that one. Then I'm going to talk about the Spirit-empowered man. I'll give you an introduction to the 5 Passions courses. Then I'll deal with the adventurous spirit, the entrepreneurial drive, gallant in relationships, faithful in character, and philanthropic in cause. And then I'll give you a 5-Star Man Passions wrap-up. Now, when you get here, a guy will have the option to go to the next step of the journey. So at that point, we're asking him to become a champion, become a partner of any amount, if he will partner with us. And here's what I'm asking you to believe with me. I'm asking for thousands of men to go through this course. I'm asking for 1,000 men to become to take the next step into the champion you and continue their walk with God, continue their journey. And because of that, what we will do is, let me go over here, and I'm going to show you the journeys. So the first journey that we will have is the resurrection of authentic manhood. We'll have the 7 laws, the plans, purposes, and pursuits, wise guys, and the 7 steps in the daily commute. This is journey number 1. Journey number 2 is speaking of Father's blessing, God's currency. We've got trample temptation, centurion principle, and we got an open space there. And then we've got hedge of protection, fuel, freedom. So these journeys will lead a man from step by step, faith to faith, glory to glory. So this is the first time in the history of 5-Star Man that we've had intentional direction for every man to take. I really believe that this is going to be a game changer in so many men's lives, obviously. Now, you will see that this is addressed to me personally. And what's amazing about this, guys, is being addressed to me personally, it's going to be addressed to you. It will know exactly where you are on the course. And in a few weeks, when we release the app will sync with the web. It'll be an actual app, but it'll sync with the web. We've created a discipleship path for men to walk out their journey with God, and I believe it's going to be a game changer in so many men's lives. I really do. I think it's going to be phenomenal. So whatever you do, guys, I know that you are, most of you are already partners, champions, is what I call you. What this is going to give me the ability to do is pray with you, pray specifically, which I already do, but I'm going to be able to track with you and walk with you every step of the way along with God. I think it's going to be pretty incredible. We have 230 partners currently, and we have church partners as well that we don't have the numbers of those men included yet. But we have 230 partners. We want to reach 1,000 partners, and I want to reach tens of thousands of men. At the end of these journeys, we are relaunching 5-Star Man 300 to be our platform for leaders of men. So at the conclusion of these 3 journeys, then we're asking you to go ahead and step up to leadership. And that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time. I'm going to be spending most of my time with leaders of men. I'm going to be offering a Zoom call with leaders of men once a month. And I'm going to bring my best leadership training that I can possibly bring you. I'm going to work with you so that you can reach men. So you start a small group of men, you're going to be on that platform. You are a pastor, obviously you're going to be on that platform. Men's leader, you're going to be on that platform. All of that's in the works. It's going to be pretty amazing. So I trust that you're getting something out of this. By the way, before I go any further, you got to go see Jesus Revolution. The movie is absolutely phenomenal. I loved it. I wept. I cried. I laughed. I got motivated. I got inspired. I'm so motivated. What a timely moment for this movie to come out while all of these amazing outpouring of the Holy Spirit's happening right now throughout the world, and especially our country. It's pretty exciting. Are you guys with me? You're not saying anything. So go see Jesus Revolution. I love the movie. I'm absolutely fascinated by it. And then our U version just continues to grow. I'll give you an update on that next week. But let me open with this first question. And guys, I apologize about the tech issue. So the first question that I got today, and somebody comment because, okay, thank you, James. Thank you, Jim. All right. BJ says, does the current recurring donation end now? Do we have to do it on? No. BJ, don't do anything different. We're going to transfer you over. So don't make new donations. Let me be very, very clear. Do not do anything. We're going to migrate you over. If there needs to be something that we need to follow up with you, we'll contact you personally. And so anyway, current partners don't do anything. All right, here's a question that I got today. Is Ishtar real? Is she actually a real entity? Is she real? I got that question today. And so I answered that. Yes, Ishtar is a real demonic spirit. Now, there's going to be a day that I have to come back and bring you some teaching on that. And but you need to understand, Ishtar is a demonic spirit, and I will, in that teaching, define how demons came to be. But she is a demonic spirit. She's an actual spirit, a goddess that people worshipped all the way back in the Mesopotamia. She has multiple names, Iana, and in biblical, Shemosh, Ashtoreth, Shemosh. And so, yes, she is a real spirit, and she is enticing men through through people. And like, for example, if a worshiper would go to the temple of Ishtar, they would encounter a priestess, or what was called a gala priest, which is a male who dressed up as a female. They would copulate in a chamber, but the worshiper was only copulating physically with the priest or the priestess, but in his imagination of idolatry, he was actually having commingling sexual relationship with a demon spirit. So I hope I make that clear in the book. I think I do, but some people have asked me that question. Is that spirit an actual real spirit that people are dealing with? And the answer to that is yes. All right, let me see what kind of questions you have. When will you think the migration happen? Tim, I think it will happen this week. We're working on it right now. I think we're going to be able to make it happen within the next couple of days. I'll check with Tom tomorrow, and we'll see about that. All right, another question that I got emailed to me today was, what can I do if my wife is not in agreement with me? What can I do if my wife is not in agreement with me? Well, that's a difficult situation, but I have found that it is not uncommon. Guys, what you have to do is you have to give your family faith to follow. I talk about this in the 7 Laws book, the chapter on faith to follow. The way faith to follow works is you cannot expect anyone to do anything spiritual without giving them the Word of God in order for them to have the consummation of faith in their heart. What a lot of men do is they want their wives to follow them without giving them the teaching of the Word in order for the wife to have faith to follow. I'll give you an example. When I discovered this principle, I no longer took an offering without teaching concerning the offering, because I didn't want people tipping God. I didn't want people giving down to God. I wanted people activating their faith in giving. So therefore, I would teach biblical finances so that people would give appropriately in an act of worship, and so I gave them faith to follow. In the same manner, I, as a husband, had to begin to teach and bring the revelation that I was receiving from my own personal study, from hearing messages, from growing in my own faith, I would give that message and apply it to my wife and my children. I often did this when not in a formal setting, but more in a casual setting, as we went about life, as we were in the home, as we were driving down the road. I would teach principles, and so that is called giving them faith to follow. Now, obviously, that presupposes the fact that, or the idea that your wife is actually teachable. And some women are not teachable. And they have accepted a spirit of Jezebel, which, by the way, the word Jezebel means without cohabitation. If a woman has actually gotten to the place of mentality of Jezebel, that means that she is not in cooperation with you. She's not in agreement, and she's actually opposing you. That's a whole different world. That is what I call crossing the line from respect to familiarity. I know I'm over time, but if you need to leave, I love you guys, but I'm going to go ahead. Since I took 10 minutes to get on here, I'm going to take a few more minutes if you don't mind. Does that make sense? Okay, so in every relationship, there's a line between respect and familiarity. And if your wife does not respect you, then you're not going to be able to teach her, and you're not going to be able to give her faith to follow you. Amazingly, the only solution that I have ever seen when the line of respect and familiarity is crossed is actually creating distance. I'll give you an example. My mother and I had a difficult relationship. By the way, in that movie, Jesus Revolution, Greg Laurie's relationship with his mother and mine is almost identical. In fact, my wife was the one who first said it. She said, his mother is just like your mother. I said, yeah, I know. I was able to lead my mother to the Lord just as Greg was able to lead his mother to the Lord as well. But it's really interesting. Before I could lead my mother to the Lord, I had to create distance. I had to move away, build my life so that she would respect me. Then I began to call her every Saturday. And at first it was awkward. It was weird. At first, every Saturday I would call her. And at first it was just weird, awkward. Wouldn't even talk to me. I'd ask her, how you doing? Same old, same old. That was her answer to everything. And then finally, I invited her down to our home. And she came. And I began to lay the groundwork so that when I moved to Tulsa, this was years ago, back in 1998, I moved to Tulsa to serve a church here. And the Lord used that time for me to win my mother to the Lord. So we were in completely opposite. And so the only way I could come back into relationship, I had to first create distance. It's interesting, in the movie, Greg Laurie did the same thing. Greg Laurie moved away, and then he went back to his mother and was able to win her to the Lord. I know that I'm talking about marriage on this particular question, but I've actually told a man recently that it may be best for you to separate for a season. I'm not telling you to divorce, but separate for a season in order for your wife to gain respect for you again. I know that's a difficult task, and I know that's probably an answer that you're probably not expecting. But that was the question that was sent into me, and that's how I would answer that. Number one, you got to give them faith to follow for them to be in agreement with you. How can they agree unless you agree in the destinations? So number two, she has to be teachable, but that means you have to be a teacher. And number three, you have to have the line between respect and familiarity. All right. Do we have any more questions? Any more questions? No? So, there you go. There you go. This has been a unique night. It's gone by very quickly. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to wrap it up. Let me just give you some action steps. What I'm doing. We're gonna migrate all of our partners, meaning you, over to our new site. We're gonna try to make that happen within the next couple of days. Number 2, the app will be coming soon, and it will fully integrate with you. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be incredible. Number 3, YouVersion continues to grow. We're going to launch the 365-day version probably by the end of March. That's our goal. I've got a lot of other things that we're working on, but I won't take time to share all that with you right now. I hope you got something out of this tonight. Again, I apologize for the technical issue. Thanks for being patient with me. I speak blessing over you. I pray that you are blessed and highly favored, that you experience the presence of God in your life. We'll talk to you next time.